I'm William Kumwembe. Hello and welcome to yet another edition of the program Business Time, right here on Times Television. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. And in the program today, energy woes push cost of production. We speak to industry players on the impact, and something needs to be done as unemployment level remains elevated. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could. And welcome. This is Business Time, and in our main story in the program today, in Malawi, where less than 12% of the population has access to electricity, the lack of reliable power supply is a major constraint to business and economic growth. Malawian firms consistently cite weakness in the electricity sector as one of the major obstacles to doing business. When power cuts out, big firms must either shut down or increase the cost of production by using fuel generators. This, the Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry, MCCCI, an umbrella body of businesses in the country, says has pushed cost of production up. MCCCI Chief Executive Officer Chancellor Kafera Banjira says a study the chamber conducted recently revealed that production in most businesses has declined by about 50%. What is at stake? This is a question our reporter Chimwemwe Mangazi attempts in this report.
MCCCI Chief Executive Officer Chancellor Kafera Banjira said the chamber conducted a study recently which revealed that production in most businesses has declined by over 50%. He said companies which resorted to using diesel generators end up paying 3 times more for energy than before.
The last time we did a study, and maybe that was not this year, but maybe 1 or 2 years ago, we found that the production levels had gone down by 50%. Now the companies had tried to make up for the loss by actually buying generators and using diesel, and that pushed the price of electricity by threefold. Meaning that if a company was paying, for example, 10 million kwacha per month in electricity bills, it was now paying 30 million, and that has not changed. So yes, the current situation, which has come as a shock because the government said that they had worked on the problem, has indeed affected production levels of our members, but more importantly, or more significantly, it has reduced, it has increased the cost of doing business because they are now paying 3 times what they were paying before.
In an earlier interview, Chibuku Products Limited Business Development and Corporate Affairs Manager Gloria Zimba said the firm is spending over 45 million kwacha monthly on diesel generators.
We've suffered quite a lot because at times we have to run on genset like 2 consecutive days, and we run 24 hours, 7 days a week. So, losing power for 2 consecutive days in a week is quite a lot. Running whole production on just a generator is quite expensive. The one brewery, it ranges from 20 to 30 million, depending on how much power cuts we've been having in a week. Blantyre, Lilongwe, and Mzuzu. Blantyre being the biggest at the moment, and Mzuzu the smallest. So you're talking of probably 20 million in a month on Blantyre, 15 million in Lilongwe, and another 8 to 10 million in Mzuzu on gensets. Because as usual, our water boats use electricity to run. So where we have power cuts, water will also sometimes stop. So where water has stopped flowing, we end up hiring water bowsers to make sure that we run. And we are talking of a 30,000 tank capacity. And when we are in full production, only our one brewing tank is 15,000 liters. So per day, sometimes we brew 4 tanks, 5 tanks. So 15,000 times 4 or 5 tanks. So all that is water which we bring in through a water bowser. At the same time, we also need water for cleaning the machines, cleaning vehicles, cleaning the premises, running our pollution blocks. So it's really quite expensive.
Now, the Tea Association of Malawi has touted progress in addressing gender inequality in the industry as it implements gender policy. The association feels women working in estates are now empowered to push for their rights. This was revealed at a press briefing the association held recently. Research on the initiative started in 2014 and the policy was launched in 2017. Sharon Chira has the whole story.
TAM chairperson Zangwani Hara said the issues that were brought up during the research have been improved upon.
One of the problem areas that came out very clearly was we have some supervisors within the industry. Low-level supervisors are called capitals. Those were the people that were mentioned to be involved in sexual abuse. They were abusing their positions and committing all these offenses. So yes, that came out very clearly and that has been addressed. And in terms of the training, we have also targeted that group and we have also we have trained the workers in terms of what their rights are. So we've both targeted the workers to tell them what their rights are, and we have also targeted this specific problematic group of supervisors in terms of what the policy is and what they can and what they cannot.
He added that the association plans to continue with its program.
So as an industry, the policy was implemented at the Tea Association level. So Tea Association has member companies. So what we will be doing next is to ensure that gender policy is also mainstreamed at the member estate level. So each of our members needs to mainstream gender and ensure that all the company policies within have gender as a component of those policies.
Ethical Tea Partnership Malawi country manager Twango Ndalama said the policy has benefited smallholder farmers.
With the smallholder farmers, I think we realized that there were issues coming out in various disciplines. So as we were implementing our activities, we realized that in terms of financial management, in terms of resources at household level, there were differences between men and women. So I think the rolling out of the gender policy, which has brought with it capacity building and various skills, training women, training men alike, it has also improved issues that were coming out, issues such as domestic violence, women not having equal opportunities in terms of in terms of leadership roles, in churches, even in communities, things like that.
IDH Sustainable Training Initiative Country Representative Daisy Gambalame said they partnered with TAMO as the policy is in line with their goals.
For us, I think it was really important to look at creating a conducive environment. As you know, the program that we are supporting here in Malawi is called the Tea Revitalization Program. But when you look at revitalization, it's also important to make sure that the work environment is conducive both for men and women. But especially for women, we knew that sometimes because of culture issues and diversification issues, they might not have the same opportunities, or also understanding how they take advantage of those opportunities. So we realized that by creating that kind of environment, what the Tea Association was attempting to do was actually going to help us achieve that goal, so that when we export our tea, people can actually see that the people that were producing it were working in a very good environment, which is very important nowadays for marketing. So as IDH, our goal and our mandate is to look at how we can address some of the development challenges through trade. So we saw this as a huge opportunity to ensure that trade in tea is moving forward, and we are part of that revolution moving forward.
Remember, this is Business Time right here on Times Television with me, William Kumwembe. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines. When we get back, we'll look at trends on the job market and how levels of unemployment are affecting economic growth strides. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Malawi needs to create enough jobs for the youth and address concerns of rapid population growth if the country is to grow sustainably. And the country needs to manage its reliance on agriculture sector as key source of employment for the growing population. These were some of the recommendations speakers made at the two-day annual conference for Economics Association of Malawi, ECAMA, which ended on Friday. Our journalist, Chimwemwe Mangazi, was there, caught up with commentators and filed this report.
Held under the theme Population Growth Challenges and Opportunities for Economic Development in Malawi, the conference attracted the country's top economies. In an interview on the sidelines of the conference, ECAMA President Chikumbutsogwa Lilombe said there is need for the country to use the youthful population for economic gains.
Well, the take-home message is that we have a lot to do and we have to do it soon to really if we are to use the youth population that we have now for economic gains, but also just to control that it doesn't go on like that. But the main take home is that economic growth is a key. If we can't grow the economy, then we'll still have problems, even if we curb the growth rate and everything, because it's about giving the people something to do, to earn a living. As usual, that means we'll put them into community, but also we have currently we have like an action matrix. But this, because I think it will be one point of call in government. We will take this probably to the Ministry of Finance, and then they can coordinate to say this is what we think should be done. We can continue to engage more on what the specifics are, but I think we can, it's one point of call, we give it to them and see, and then we continue also using the same information to advocate going forward. And I think what you need to know is that if you don't use the population appropriately, then it is negative. But today, they've like the harnessing the dividend gives solutions how the population growth now can be made more positive. So there is, it's not all negative, but our situation is negative currently, unless we reverse it.
Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry MCCCI Chief Executive Officer Chancellor Kafera Banjira said there is need to create employment opportunities in areas that are labor-intensive in various sectors of the economy.
We have a demographic dividend, meaning that we have an opportunity to tap from the people, the number, especially the number of youths that we have in this country. We all know that there are more youths than adults, and some people look at it as a challenge because we cannot provide for these youths. So we don't have enough schools, for example, or even for those that are coming out of school, they don't have jobs. But if we think along those lines, we are actually losing out on an opportunity. So what I'm saying is the best way to make sure that we get the dividends from the youth that we have is to make sure that we create jobs for them. We have a responsibility as leaders in this country to make sure that first of all we create opportunities for employment in areas that are high labor intensive. And it is very easy to do that, not only in agriculture. Sometimes we have thought of agriculture as the only area in which we can go. But we know that the agriculture sector in Malawi is characterized by very low productivity, and a lot of people involved in agriculture really just make ends meet, barely make ends meet. And the reason is the holding of land is very small. They use hoes instead of tractors, and even if they wanted to use the tractors, it would not be possible because of the size of the land. And also the sort of crops generally that are grown are the traditional ones that are subjected to changes of prices. So because of that, yes, there are a lot of people involved in agriculture, and therefore we can say agriculture sector employs a lot of people, but it's really not decent jobs that you can get from there. So the answer lies in industrialization. In other words, we need to promote industries. As a representative of the private sector, we get a lot of intentions from even existing businesses, saying they would want to venture into a specific some sector, and what would the government offer in terms of incentives, even if these are new areas. In other words, they are looking for economic diversification so that they can reallocate the resources, maybe from the activities they are carrying out, which are which have low level productivity into high productivity. And these activities are also labor absorbing, meaning that they can employ a lot of people.
Reserve Bank of Malawi Governor Dalitso Kabambe said due to the current demographics, where 51% of the population is below 18 years, every year there are large numbers of people that are entering the job market at various levels. He said the economy is failing to generate sufficient jobs for all.
There is a group of Malawians now which are constituting half of the population that are below the age of 18, and they are going into either the labor market but also their reproductive phase. And that's the group of people that are going to bring up more people and more children going forward. So on one part is this success record that we cannot take away from this country, that we have registered a strong success in the health indicators over the years. Those that were born 1960, they could either die as maternal death, mother dying whilst giving birth, or indeed under 5 or neonatal or infant mortality. We appear to have moved on from that scenario where one would die early. But now we are confronted with this rapid population growth as a result of this success. And all we are asking is that as a result of this rapid population growth, it is exerting enormous pressure on the environment in particular. For instance, it means that we have to expand more land for agricultural production, and also most of the people that are living in rural areas, their livelihoods is around trees, around the natural environment, and so forth. And all these elements are being overstretched. Our land is overstretched, cutting down of trees is overstretched, and we are indeed cutting down across the country, and as a result we are having siltation and so forth. But equally true, apart from the natural environment, the GDP that we have mentioned, that we have been growing at around an average of 4.4% over the years, and yet our population growth is at 2.9%, meaning that in net terms, the only additionality is only around 1%, and it's this 1% which is giving challenge, that we are not really seeing meaningful poverty reduction among the population. That's why it remains 50% of the population remaining poor, because we're not growing faster enough and growing much more than we could have grown in order for us to reduce poverty in the country.
And as we proceed with the program, let us now have a look at how the Malawi kwacha is faring against major trading currencies on the foreign exchange market. Now, in other business news, Nico Holdings has reaffirmed its commitment to continue engaging clients as a step towards cementing the bond. Managing Director for the firm, Vizenge Kumwenda, said this in Lilongwe on Wednesday during an annual client cocktail the firm held. He explains in this interview.
We've had a great gathering in the sense that there is a cross range of our clients who have come to this event this evening. We are very happy because of the attendance or patronage, because we wanted to showcase to them the services that are available across the group that they can access easily without having to move from one company to another and so on and so forth, through one contact point. Whether it's NBS Bank or Nico General or Nico Life or Nico Asset Management, through one contact point, a client can be serviced where he is able to get services from across the group. Now, this is something that we wanted our clients, wanted to remind our clients, and indeed to explain to them how they can benefit from the Nico Group. I must say that these annual client cocktails are very important events for us, because through these events, we interact with our clients, and I must say that because of the previous engagements, the business that we are getting from our clients is growing. Our relationship with the relationships we are having with our clients is improving, because through these engagements we're able to share. They are able to share with us their experiences, where they're positive. They encourage us to continue, so that they continue enjoying those positive experiences. But where they believe we need to improve, we also take advantage of their communication to attend to their grievances. The key ingredient for survival of any business is to make sure that it attains to the needs of its clients, and these needs should be by way of providing solutions to the challenges and problems that the clients are having. So that is how, as a business, we make ourselves relevant, so that clients come out seeking us, because we don't look at it as business as such. We look at it as providing solutions, helping our clients solve their financial services problems. So to us, and to me in particular, that's a key ingredient. Attend to what, engage your clients to understand their needs and address their needs.
And Ngawaila Chatata is Managing Director of Tantwe Farms and feels the engagement were vital.
This is very important. It's a very important event. Like any time you learn something new. Like today, I learned that they are providing financial management services for the clients, and I'm really keen to go and understand what can I get from that service, and especially where they're looking at your assets and how much you are utilizing them. Because sometimes we, as private sector, we have the tendency to accumulate assets, but we're not really maximizing on them. So I'm really interested to understand how I can better service for my business. Basically, it provides you a one-stop center, because most of the services that we look for, like if I'm looking for a bank loan that needs an insurance, I don't have to run from the bank to the NICO to the insurance company. I would just have to deal with maybe NBS in this case, and they would facilitate my access to the insurance from NICO. So it's time saving.
BMA Catchbook Products Limited has rated 2019 as one of the challenging years in business owing to rise in counterfeit products on the market. Chibuk Products Limited Business Development and Legal Manager Gloria Zimba said this when the firm launched a new promotion dubbed Shake Shake. Our reporter Sam Banda Jr. caught up with Zimba in this interview.
2019 business has been very tough. You know, the economic environment in Malawi at the moment is very tough, very unstable because of also the political instability, a lot of demonstrations. You know, once there's a demonstration, we don't go out for sales because several times our vehicles have been attacked. So in such days, we lose sales. But despite all those challenges, we are still saying thank you to the consumers who have always been there. They've been loyal to Chibuku as a brand, but also Chibuku as a beer. Still fighting, and the MRIA is helping. We've got MRIA, the Malawi police, they are also helping. Apart from counterfeit products, but we also have smuggled products from neighboring countries. It's a big battle, but we're still fighting on. And we have survived in some areas. That's why we've been able to set aside this 25 million to still say thank you to our consumers. Indeed, it's a joint promotion. We spent 25 million kwacha on this promotion. And this 25 million kwacha is in form of instant giveaway prices. The grand prize is 3 million, which has been subdivided into 1 million per region, 1 million for southern region, 1 million for central region, and 1 million for northern region. Simple. It's that's why the promotion is called Guma Kupata promotion. So you have to drink a bucket. It's called sometimes a carton or jibagi. You drink, you find a token inside. The token will tell you what price you've won. Chibuku has remained the people's beer. And you know Malawi, 75% of Malawians are the low income earners. And these low income earners are the ones who normally patronize our taverns, our Chibuku bars, where we normally sell this carton. So we thought of giving back to these people who have always been there for Chibuku. The 50 plus years Chibuku has been there. It has always been the carton, so it's a carton that identifies with the Chibuku. So we just want to say thank you to our consumers of this Chibaki. Benefit is not much, but just the loyalty. We're going to gain a little bit more loyalty from our consumers. And as we are saying thank you to them, they also appreciate the fact that we are not only migrating to the upper market through the, as we have asked, the recently launched other flavors which are upper market consumed products. We haven't forgotten our lower market consumers, the Chibagi consumers. Bicycles, we have smartphones, we have t-shirts, we've got cups, and we've got hampers, Christmas hampers. Encourage all our Chibagi consumers to run as fast as they can to all the taverns, all the Chibuku bars, grab your Chibagi, open inside, you are going to find a token there. On the carton, you are going to find phone numbers. Please call those numbers and you are going to win your prizes instantly. We are running this competition for 3 months, November, December, up to January. And there's a reason why we've stretched it over those particular months. In November, we know it's a farming season, so we want our consumers to win these cash prizes so that they can go and buy fertilizer and other farm inputs. And we know a lot of parents have got school fees balances. Some will use that money to go and pay school fees balances for their children. But also going into January, in Malawi, we go into January. We don't want our consumers to go and into Caterpillar. We want them to come, just grab a Chibuku bag, then you get your money in there, no more Caterpillar throughout your January period.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time, right here on Times Television, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country and beyond. On behalf of the entire production team, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, then it doesn't make sense. Goodbye for now.